The witch collapses as if going to sleep. Purple robe falls. Rip Caster, pour one out. Good run. You made a very good run as top villain. I gotta say, I really appreciated what she brought to the table. The robe without its wearer fades and disappears as if following her. You, on the other hand, I have managed to exceed and yet live up to all expectations. I expected nothing and got nothing back in return, but nothing in style. Kazuki does not even look at her. His attention is focused on the man above. The knight in red, who should be above me. I get a headache. It's not just because I'm abused projection. The muttered spell. The spell he said is smashing my brain with nausea. Trace on. That's what he said. He said the exact words of the spell that shouldn't be used by anyone else but me. Archer comes down the stairs and stands in the temple. Susaka is watching him with surprise.
あーちゃもしかしたらって思ってたけどそういうこと
Archer does not answer. He's only watching his enemy, Kazuki.
獅子心中の虫か。初めからこれを狙っていた
Yeah,
な。
I kind of figured.
Archer.
But it's like very convoluted.
ああだがどちらかといえばトロイの木馬だろう。倒すべきがギリシャの英傑であったのだからな。例え話としてはそちらの方がふさわしい。
Archer shows no guilt, even though he has betrayed Caster in front of us.
そうか。お前のような男を引き込んだキャスターの落ち度だったな。
Kazuki does not change his tone, even in front of a betrayer. He still has the will to fight. He is not a magus, and he has lost Caster, but he has the will to continue fighting. He readies himself. As Caster is gone, Kazuki's strength has been dropped substantially. His snake is still there, but Caster's strengthening that made his fists into steel is gone. But still, Kazuki faces Archer like before.
そうか。続けるというのなら止めはしない。
Archer readies his twin swords. Their duel has begun. Is that alright? Kazuki said he has no interest in the Holy Grail. A master in name only. He merely went along with Caster. And there's no reason for him to fight now that Caster's gone.
待て、どうして続けるんだクズキ。あんたはキャスターの言いなりになってただけだろう。キャスターはもういないんだから戦う理由はないはずだ。
I glare at them, gritting my teeth against the pain. Kazuki narrows his eyes a bit.
そうだ。戦う理由などない。お前と同じく、私は聖杯などに興味はなかったからな。
なら。
だが、これは私が始めたことだ。それを途中でやめることなどできない。
Boy, do I feel that. That's it. It's all the reason he has. Battle starts. Battle should end in one blow. Even if Kazuki was superhuman fighting abilities, he's fighting a servant. He can't be a match just by being superhuman. Even though this is called a battle, this is actually just disposal of the loser. The fate of the loser. Battle between masters to kill and be killed. And that is the end they have to be ready for. One shouldn't fight at all. That he can't accept that. But still. Okay, so the options are what's wrong with stopping them if I can? What's good? What good is stopping them? I don't know. Let's just do what I think Emiya would do. And what's wrong with stopping them if I can? I don't have really any. This could, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's face it, it doesn't matter. God, this would be such a stupid way to die. But both of them would be. It's just, whatever. What's wrong with stopping them if I can? Or not. Or it can freeze up again. Awesome. There. Okay, it worked. Okay, that was the fastest one yet. If I can save him... Is it wrong to want to prevent his death if I can? I don't care if I'm called soft-hearted. I know it's just hypocrisy. To defeat another master means killing them. We fought prepared to kill each other. I know how unfair it is to stop them now, but still, I decided to fight so that I can save people. I can't ignore a life that can be saved.
やめろ。勝負はついた。これ以上は。
I suppress my headache and try to stop them. At that instant, Kazuki moves. Kazuki must have taken my voice as a signal as he rushes Archer in a flash and lashes at his temple. Any ordinary man would have his skull crushed, but Archer does not dodge it. His head moves from the impact. The knight in red takes Kazuki's blow and pierces Kazuki Sochiro's chest at the same time. That is also, I also kind of figured that, I mean, there's nothing I'm going to be able to say to stop them. There's only silence. Nobody says anything, and I have nothing to say in any case. Kazuki Sochiro has died. He was silent until the very end, and he died on the path he chose without showing regret or hope. I have a headache. My magic circuit compressing my nerves, or can I not forgive Archer for killing Kazuki? Or am I pissed at myself for not having the right to say anything to him? I can't tell, and my headache only gets worse. I turn around at the sound. With Castor's appearance, the bonds must have broken. Saber is on the floor in front of the altar. Saber painfully breathes on the floor. That makes me forget about my headache.
Saber!
Oh, okay. I run to her. Even this short distance is an annoyance. Whoa!
Shiro.
Hey, look at... I didn't... Never mind. She raises her head. Saber sighs in relief as if she sees me to run to her and... Oh. She tackled me with her shoulder and pushes me away. Oh, that son of a bitch! She pushes me forcefully to the side. My body flies for a few meters and lands on the ground. Motherfucker! I land on my back. He caught me off guard. He caught me off guard. I shake my confused head and look up. And that instant, I hear steel hitting steel. That son of a bitch! Saber is there, fully armored, and numerous swords lie on the floor, right where I was standing before Saber tackled me.
外したか。
He says in a bored face facing Saber. Saber, who can barely keep her body standing, glares at Archer. He needed to... That's why he did it. He needed to break the bind from Tosaka's... He needed to break Tosaka's command spell so he could kill me. That's why he did it. Especially if she wanted to return Saber to Amiya. Oh, fuck. That makes perfect sense, actually. I don't even need to ask why she's glaring at him. He shot those swords from behind to kill me. Saber saw that and instantly pushed me away. Tosaka watches him in astonishment, and Saber readies her sword while breathing heavily. Their situations are different, but they both have wonder in their eyes. Why is Archer trying to kill Miyashiro when Castor's dead already? The only calm ones are Archer and I. It's not that surprising. We hated each other from the start. We opposed each other, unable to get along. I don't know why, but I just cannot approve of him. The reason behind it, if that is really the reason for us not being able to approve of each other, it is natural for him to want to kill me. I get up. Saber must have been desperate. She tackled me without holding back, so I can't breathe properly. That just makes me more determined. This is all she could manage when she tackled me with all her might. She doesn't have power left in her to even fight me. It's suicidal for her to confront Archer in such a state. Right.
あーちゃん、何のつもり？
Tazaka draws near Archer. It's natural. Archer switched to Caster's side to attack her by surprise. Now that it succeeded, there's no reason for him to attack me.
芝居はもう終わりでしょ。キャスターは倒したんだから、もう勝手な真似は許さないわよ。
許さない？わからないな。なぜ私が許さなければならないのだ？
Master, there's just 4 people in this room.
はーちゃん。
お前との契約は切れている。自由になった私が自ら進んで人間の手下になると思うのか？
After staring up at the knight in astonishment, Tazaka gasps in sudden realization.
まさか、あーちゃん。
私は私の目的のためだけに行動する。だがそこにお前がいてはいささか面倒だ。
Tazaka jumps back. She gets away from Archer and tries to run towards me, who is still on the knees, and her movement is stopped cold. A swarm of swords about 2 meters high. They pierce the ground, drawing a circle and become a circular prison. Okay, I wasn't sure where that was going. And the circle is big enough for one person to fit in. Tazaka is trapped inside.
ここまで来て邪魔はさせん。契約が切れた今、お前にかけられたレイジの縛りも存在しない。キャスターについた理由はそれだけだ。あのレイジを無効にするためには契約を破棄せねばならなかったからな。
Turning his back to the imprisoned Tazaka, Archer starts to walk. Not towards Saber, but towards me, still on my knees.
やっぱり、なんでよ、あーちゃん。あんた、まだシロを殺すつもりなの？
そう。自らの手でエミやシロを殺す。それだけが守護者となり果てた俺のただ一つの願望だ。
I mean, I get it, but no! Stop it! I think this might be a round word. Power returns to Saber's body. She musters her strength and moves between Archer and me.
あーちゃん、あなたはまさか。
そうだ。いつか言っていたな、セイバー。無論だ。そんなものがあるはずがない。この身を埋めているのは、俺はね、セイバー。英雄になどならなければよかったんだ。
The aggression fades from Saber. What did she figure out? Her enmity towards Archer is gone.
そういうことだ。引いているがいい、騎士を。マスターがいない意味で無茶をすれば、すぐに消えるぞ。もはやエミやシローには、マスターの資格がない。肩入れしたところで、君の望みには届かない。
それはできない。マスターで亡くなったとしても契約は消えない。彼を守り剣になると誓った。聖杯戦争など知らなかった彼はそれでも私の一方的な誓いに応えてくれた。その信頼を裏切ることなどできない。
She readies her invisible sword, but I don't see her usual valor and strength in her stance.
そうか。ならば、偽りの主ともども、ここで消えろ。
Twin swords appear in Archer's hand. Saber can't even take those swords right now.
バカ逃げろサイバー
I get up and reach for Saber. Did she do it to get away from my reach? Saber pulls herself together, kicks the ground, and charges at Archer. The battle ends after a few blows. Saber, the one who overwhelmed Archer before, falls to her knees, unable to stand for even a few seconds. The sword isn't even in Saber's hands now. After resisting caster command spell for so long, she has no magical energy left. Unable even to breathe, she puts her hands on the floor, desperately trying to hold her disappearing body together. Archer raises his sword. The twin swords are swung down onto Saber, and I had one left. I jump in from the side and stop them using all my might. I ready my twin swords. I hold the instantly projected weapons and glare at the knight in red.
おう。あとしばらくはおとなしくしていると思ったがな。さすがに目の前で女が殺されるのは耐えられないか。
うるさい。お前が殺したがってるのは俺だろう。なあ、相手を間違えるな。
I confront him. We both have twin swords in our hands. Our physiques are different, but our stances are the same in every regard.
人間もそこまで行けば本物だ。だが、お前の体はその魔術講師に耐えられるかな。
A sneering voice. My limit is near, as he says. My headache does not stop, and my magic circuit has its limiter full from all the projection magic. My brain will explode before I get slashed if I fight him while retaining the image of twin swords.
前に忠告したな。お前に投影は扱えないと。分不相応の魔術は身を滅ぼす。お前をここまで生かしてきた奇跡の代償。
Archer charges in.
黙りやがれ、てめえ
To that, I frantically move my swords as if slashing my headache away. I swing my arms. My techniques are all a copy of my enemy's. My weapon is copied. My technique is copied. Therefore, I cannot match him. I couldn't match him even if I were in top condition. An imitation can get close to the original, but never surpass it. Could not match this man from the start. The man told me to drown in my ideals and die. The man said that my life is a false life. I could not object to those words because he was my ideal. A power to make the impossible possible. An existence that saved many people and became a heroic spirit. It was I who wanted to become such a person. That's why I can't match him. The man in front of me is the end of that road. He is my ideal. Becoming strong to save people. So, my swords shatter. I was able to block his attacks, but my twin swords disappear. I can't stay conscious. My body isn't hurt, but my insides are bleeding and about to give out.
納得がいったか。それがエミヤ四郎の限界だ。無理を積み重ねてきたお前にはふさわしい幕切れだろう。
He raises his sword. As I try to figure out with my dazed mind if the sword will come down from the right or the left.
告げる。汝の身は我が元に、我が命運は汝の剣に。聖杯のルールに従い、この断りに従うのなら。
Chisaka's gallant voice echoes through the temple. That must have caught his attention. The sword is slowed down a bit. If that's the case, I can dodge it even with a body like this. I roll on the floor and get away. Archer clenches his teeth, but looks at Saber instead of pursuing me.
我に従え。ならばこの命運
Sasaka reaches out towards Saber from within the prison of swords. Saber runs to her using her last power and
セイバーの名にかけ誓いを受ける。あなたを我が主として認めよう。
yes! Ah! A contract that should have originally been made. Saber finally obtains a master that is appropriate for her. Violent wind rages. She must have gotten back her true power by obtaining a true master. Saber isn't like anything she was before. What? I'm not the only one that gasped. Even Archer is fascinated. Rising swirls of magical energy and armor that can never be damaged. There seems to be no end to this overwhelming power. This is Saber, the heroic spirit of the sword, said to be the strongest servant.
モートよりリンと再契約させるつもりだったが、いささか手順が違ってきたか。
Archer murmurs while looking at Saber. He must not have enough to spare to pay attention to me now.
それでどうするセイバー。リンと契約した以上、君は本当にエミヤシロとは無関係になったわけだ。
言ったはずですアーチャー。素人の誓いはなくならないと。
Saber is firm. Archer clucks his tongue and grips his twin swords again.
あなたこそどうするのですアーチャー。あなたが白を手にかけるというのなら、私は全力でそれを阻む。考え直すのなら今のうちです。今の私を相手にして勝機があるとは思わないでしょう。
Saber's warning is true. Saber would not lose even to Berserker now. No matter who he may be, Archer cannot match Saber. He should know that more than anyone, but
たかだか魔力が戻った程度だ。よくもそこまで強気になる。
Archer charges. Their weapons clash. Archer charges in at Saber like a red bullet and attacks her with all his might. Saber receives the blow like nothing. Neither the size difference nor Archer's momentum matter. Saber repels Archer's sword without flinching. Archer, the one who attacked, is the one who retreats. The attack made with all his strength, a blow that should not need to be repeated is. Not only is it blocked, but his body loses balance as well. Archer steps back. There. Saber's sword attacks him. Like a surging waves of raging fire, Archer can only defend against her attacks. Saber's sword will kill him if he tries to counter. No, first of all, he does not have anything to spare for a counter. The only resistance Archer is allowed is to block Saber's attack until he runs out of energy. And that should not take long. The magical energy in Saber's sword scrapes away Kansho and Bakuya with each attack. The twin swords cannot take any more, and Archer's arm should be powerless by now. The match is settled rather quickly. Archer falls to one knee, unable to stand against Saber's assault. Saber swings down her sword as if to finish him off. Archer blocks by crossing his twin swords in front of him. The battle is at an end. Even though he blocks Saber's blow, Archer cannot move. Saber's sword will split his head in two if he loosens his power on the twin swords. Archer puts power into his arms to stop Saber's blow. Sweat forms on his forehead, and he's breathing hard. In contrast, Saber's breathing is normal. It is impossible for Archer to beat Saber in hand-to-hand combat.
ここまでですアーチャー。
It might have been different if you were in perfect condition, but you cannot fight on with your depleted strength. Okay, she was.
先ほど私の身を案じていましたが、それはあなたにも言えることだ。キャスターを倒すためにあれだけの宝具を使った今、魔力は残り少ないはずです。加えて、この世にとどまるためのマスターもいない。魔力の供給もままならない今のあなたに何ができる？
それこそ余計な世話だセイバー。アーチャーのサーバントにはマスターがおらずとも単独で存在する能力がある。マスターを失ったとしても2日は存命できる。
バカな。まだそんなことを言うのですか。あなたの望みは聖杯ではなく白を殺すことだとでも。
Archer doesn't answer. His cold eyes stare at the troubled Saber.
なんということを。アーチャー、あなたの望みは間違っている。なぜそのような結末を望むのですか。そんなことをしてもあなたは
Will not be saved. Saber bites her lips and stops herself from saying so.
間違えているか。
The muscles of Archer's arms bulge. He looks at Saber once.
それはこちらのセリフだセイバー。君こそいつまで間違った望みを抱いている。
He says so with eyes staring far away.
アーチャー。
Saber's sword loosens up. She's seriously gonna... Using that opening, Archer gets up and kicks Saber with his freed leg. Even though she's knocked back, Saber lands gracefully. The situation hasn't changed at all. Saber is protecting me and facing Archer, who has Susaka trapped within a cage of swords behind him. The distance between them is 5 meters again.
分かりきっていたことだが、やはり剣技では及ばぬか。
With that, Archer empties his hands. Twin swords disappear, and he confronts Saber unarmed.
アーチャー、剣を捨てたということは戦いを収める気に。
I doubt it.
まさか。君こそ思い違いはよせ。俺はアーチャーだぞ。もとより剣で戦うものではない。
With those words,
I'm the bone of my soul.
he begins this spell in a voice I can't hear.
やめろアーチャー。私はあなたとは。
セイバー、いつかお前を解き放つ者が現れる。それは今回ではないようだが、おそらくは次もお前と関わるのは私なのだろうよ。Unknown to death, unknown to life.
His spell echoes through the temple. There's no change. A long spell like that should affect the surroundings. Magic influences the world, but his spell does not affect the world, but instead...
だが、それはあくまで次の話。今の俺の目的は、エミやシロを殺すことだけだ。それを阻むのならば、この世界は、お前が相手でも容赦はせん。
He raises his left arm. Does that complete his spell?
Unlimited blade works.
He clearly speaks out and changes the world. Fire runs. It runs across the floor and looks like a white line. Is the surrounding fire a boundary line? A color of fire fills my vision and paints the temple. After that, my surroundings are replaced by this strange world. Pain fills my brain. I can tell. I understand what this magic is, what this absurdity is. I shouldn't be able to understand, but I can tell what this is, whether I want to or not. And that make my brain boil. In short, this is a steel manufacturing factory. Burning fire and turning cogwheels. A field of swords without owners extend to the horizon of the desert. All the swords in the ground are famous. Kansho and Bakia originally came from this world. An almost infinite projection of weapons, innumerable weapons, make this place seem like a wasteland. The knight in red reigns at the center of this kingdom of rubble.
これは
The confused voice is Saber's. Inside the illusionary fire that is not even hot, she watches the knight in blank amazement.
固有結界心象世界を具現化して現実を侵食する大禁獣。つまりあんたは剣士でもなければ弓兵でもなくて、
そう、生前英霊となる前は魔術師だったということだ。
Sosaka sounds disinterested. Could it be? Did she already know Archer's true identity?
ではアーチャー、あなたの宝具は？
そんなものはない。私は聖剣も魔剣も持ってなどいなかったからな。俺が用いるのはこの世界だけだ。宝具が英霊のシンボルだというのなら、この魔術こそが俺の宝具。武器であるのならば、オリジナルを見るだけで複製し貯蔵する。それが俺の英霊としての能力だ。
Saber gasps. She looks with blank amazement at the extending graveyard of swords in the desert. The ashen sky and steel wasteland devoid of all life.
これがあなたの世界だというのか、アーチャー。
そうだ。試してみても構わんぞ、セイバー。お前の聖剣、確実に複製してみせよう。
私の聖剣、その正体を知って言うのか、アーチャー。
もちろん、あれほどのものになると完全な複製はできぬが、真に迫ることはできる。となればどうなる？聖剣同士が衝突した時、周りの人間は生きていられるか？
アーチャー、あなたは。
そういうことだ。間違っても聖剣を使うな、セイバー。使えば俺も抵抗せざるを得ない。その場合、消えるのは我々ではなく周りの人間だ。お前のことだ。自身を犠牲にしてもそこの小僧を守るだろう。俺とて聖剣など投影しては自滅する。となれば生き残るのは一人だけ。それではあまりにも意味がない。
Archer raises his left arm. Sword behind him will float up. The swords behind him will float up one by one.
抵抗はするな。運が良ければ即死することもない。ことが済んだ後、お前のマスターに癒してもらえ。
Archer points to Saber. Numerous swords points towards Saber. All of these weapons are sure to kill.
かわすのもいいが、その場合、背後の男は諦めろ。
And he gives the command. The numerous swords are shot. Saber does not move. She confronts them, intending to deflect all weapons using her sword, even prepared for her own death.
トレース。
I can't think because of my headache. My magic circuit can only handle one more projection. My insides are burned up and almost melted, but such concerns vanished when I saw this world. Before I realized it, I had jumped up, run to Saber, and am glaring at the annoying sword.
シロ、ダメだ、早く。
I don't care. For now, the oncoming 18 swords, analysis of all of them cannot be completed with my eyes alone, so my senses run wild and go past the fastest speeds. Go faster and faster and faster. They approach. Something like a cocking hammer goes down in my head.
ふざけ。
I stick out my left arm. I have no doubts. I've copied him so many times. There's nothing wrong with the theory.
てんじゃねえ、てめえ。
There is no way I can't reproduce the rain of swords in front of me. Broken pieces fly around. When I open my eyes, his reality marble has disappeared. The only thing there are the broken pieces of swords and... a hellish nausea, as if my organs have come up to my throat. After glaring at me in disgust, he takes out Tosaka from the cage of swords and restrains her. Jesus. Tosaka struggles to get away from Archer. What did he do? Archer places his hand on Tosaka's neck and renders her unconscious. And he leaves the temple. Tosaka in his arms, Archer jumps to the stairs leading up.
どこに行く気です、アーチャー。
これ以上邪魔の入らないところだ。俺は今ので魔力切れだしな。お前に守られた小僧を仕留めるだけの力はない。
リンを連れて行くのは人質ですか？
いや、交換条件だ。これが俺の手元にある限り、そこの小僧は俺を追わざるを得ない。
That's a good point.
加えて、リンはお前のマスターになった。いかにお前が小僧を守ろうと、マスターの命には変えられない。
I bear my nausea. I strain my fainting mind and listen to what he has to say.
後悔。
And I say so with shaking throat, not even able to look up.
何？
だから郊外の森だ。そこに使われていない城がある。あそこなら誰にも迷惑はかからない。
白は
俺に文句があるんだろう。いいぜ、聞いてやる。言いたいことがあるのはこっちだって同じなんだ。
My vision flickers. Even as I speak, I feel sick, as if in another dimension.
郊外の森。そうか。アインツベルンの城があったな。確かに、あの城ならば邪魔は入らない。いい覚悟じゃないか、エミヤシロ。
うるさい。そんなことより。
I don't want to hear meaningless things. If I do hear them, I won't be able to hold this nausea in and I might vomit out my organs.
それまで遠坂に手を出してみろ。その時はセイバーの手を借りてでもお前を殺してやる。
I make this oath. I violently scratch my forehead, tearing off the skin in an attempt to silence my headache.
よかろう。場所を指定した見返りだ。一日は安全を保証してやる。だが急げよ。マスターがいない今、俺とて時間がない。この身は2日ともたぬだろう。その前にお前を殺せないとあらば、腹いせに人質を手にかけかねんからな。
Leaving an annoying laugh, Archer disappears. I slump to the floor, unable to keep my eyes on him.
白無茶をして、いくらあなたでもアーチャーと同じ投影をするのは早すぎます。
ごめんな。セイバ
No,
ー、
hold on.
遠坂取られちまった。
Hold on. An arm comes and supports me as I start to fall. I suppress my headache and manage to get up.
白それはいいのです。リンは無事だ。アーチャーもリンには手を出さないでしょう。それより今はあなたの方が危ない。リンのことは私に任せて、白は家で休息を取るべきです。
いや、そんな
I try to finish, but I start to faint. Damn. Can't even complain, huh?
話は後で聞きます。今はあなたを家に連れて帰る。いいですね、シロ。
I don't even get to eject. Saber supports me and starts to walk to the stairs. Nice. Oh, look at that. The sky is still gray. We leave the now empty church.
お、言葉済んだみたいだな、坊主。
Then, I see a familiar spearman in front of me. Saber glares at him while sporting me. She's so tense that she might slash him if he takes another step.
いや、違うんだ、セイバー。あいつは俺たちの手助けをしてくれた。
は、ランサーがシロに協力したというのですか？
あ、そうだ。できれば今は戦わないでくれ。
Saber stares at Lancer in astonishment. Seems he's enjoying Saber's reaction.
それはわかりましたが、なぜです、ランサー。あなたがシロたちに協力するなど、何か企みがあるのですか？
あ？なんだ？バカだろお前。んなもんあるに決まってんじゃねえか。裏で企んでなきゃよその手助けなんかするか。
Lancer's words are blunt. I knew he was that kind of guy, but he's thorough as he's making fun of Saber as well.
何がおかしいのです、シロ。
今笑ってたか、俺。
ええ、笑っていました。どうやら私の思い違いだったようですね。笑みがこぼれるほど元気があるの
He's
な
a
ら、
funny guy,
こ
man.
の
What can I
方を貸
say?
すまでもなかったようですが。
Saber's mad. It's bad, but I'm relieved. Saber's just like before. Connection is lost, but she's here just like before. Then, what's there to regret?
悪い。気が緩んだみたいだ。今はそんな場合じゃなかったな。
はい。リンを取り戻すにしても、今は休まなければ。ランサー、何が目的かは知らぬが、もはや用は済んだのだろう。ならばされ。私も、今はあなたとは戦わない。
With this, Saber goes down into the clearing.
あ？おい。万事守備よく行ったってわけじゃなさそうだな。
トサカがあーちゃんに連れて行かれた。これから取り戻しに行くだけだ。
Expressing my dizziness, I meet his gaze and answer him.
何？おい待て。それはどういうことだ？
I'm sorry, but I don't have energy left. I'm not able to explain such a long story. I should go home and...
アーチャーの目的はシロを殺すことです。そのために私のマスターとなったリンをさらい、交換条件としてシロに一騎打ちを命じました。一日中にアーチャーの元に行かなければ、リンの安全は保証しないそうです。
Well, helps me out if you can do the explaining, but it does nothing to explain the situation to Lancer.
やろう。やりやがったな。
Then, he takes off his friendly face and grits his teeth.
ランサー、
つまりあれか。あの野郎、一度ならず二
God, you're such a bro, Lancer. Why?
ええ、そういうことになりますが、それがどうしたと？
どうしたじゃねえ。くそ、気が変わった。手助けするのはこれっきりだったがな。もう少し付き合わせろ。このままじゃ寝覚めが悪い。
Having said that, Lancer starts walking. Saber watches Lancer silently. I understand how she feels. He's saying that he'll come with us.
参った。素人リンはどんな魔術を使って彼を味方に引き入れたのです。
Saber sounds more shocked than amazed. Unfortunately, I don't have the energy to reply as my wounds are starting to hurt again. No, first of all, I'm the one who once asked that question. Oh boy. And I recall his dream. The memory of the guy that was set up as a hero. The story of a knight whose end came at a place I can't reach. The hill in his world. This desolate land is what the man who kept on fighting for others obtained. I guess he smiled and died in satisfaction in this place.
バカじゃないの、本気で。
That's right. Just makes me mad. He tried his best, worked hard, even though he's an ordinary person, and finally obtained a miracle with his blood. Then, it'll be a lie unless he becomes happy. If he made many people happy, he should become happier than all of those people combined. But he did not receive such a reward. What he obtained in its place was a fate to be summoned as a guardian after his death. That's right. Why didn't I realize that simple fact? The guardians are summoned into every age. Doesn't that conversely mean that they are summoned from every age? From the present and the past? Oh. Heroic spirits can even be summoned from the future. Since guardians are pushed into a seat away from time, the time axis, the concept of time does not exist for them. As soon as one becomes a heroic spirit, they supplement into something other than what they used to be when they were human. Then, it is possible for a guardian to be summoned into a place and age they lived in when they were alive. It's vexing when I think about it. Oh, believe me, because neither of them is saved. The one that watches his previous self, the one that watches his eventual self. They were both hurt by the gulf between them. I know the end of this big idiot who tried to help others. He became a guardian by choice. He thought that it would be great if he could keep saving people, even after he died. He could not save people when he was alive because he was powerless, but he believed he could avert every tragedy as a heroic spirit. Thinking so, he made a contract with the world, gave his body after his death, and saved 100 people or so. He believed that he would be able to save more, tens of thousands of people after his death. Such hope was betrayed. Heroic spirits are summoned only into hell. They appear only when the world is about to be destroyed by people. Humans are beings that will perish from their own doings. So the process of destruction must always be the same. He was summoned only into these hells. In the land of death, where the ones he wanted to save were already dead, he killed even more humans. The boy who stated he just doesn't want to see anyone cry could only see crying humans forever. There's only one thing I can say. He has betrayed many things. He's betrayed by many things. And in the end, he was betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideal. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons. Yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. That is the only spell given to him. What is that? I'm so mad that I want to hit him and scold him. I, Tosaka Rin, have never had any hardships in my life. So I might not have the right to say it, but I believe in working hard and going through pain. It's wrong not to be compensated for your fights. That's why I'm angry at his uncompensated life. And most of all, I can't leave him because he ended up cursing his life. You're my servant, so I'm only going to do what I believe is right. I'm not as loose as Miyashiro, but I do have some things I cannot give up. I won't give it up no matter who's telling me so. That's right. That's why I decided that as long as I'm his master, I will believe in my path like he used to. That's about all I can show to him. That's the only way I can repay him. It might have been meaningless, but still. I do it so that Archer, the one who lost his own past, can realize that his life has something he can be proud of. The first thing I notice after I wake up are the sensations in my limbs. They hurt and I can't move them.
縛られてる。
I'm sitting on a chair and slept in a bad position. I don't want to admit it, but this is the worst possible situation. I can't do anything. My hands are behind the chair and restrained by something like handcuffs. It goes the same for my legs. I can't even stand up. The handcuffs and the shackles are magic resistant, and my magic circuit is so messed up that I can't even create magical energy. Now that I've checked my situation, I've surveyed my surroundings. It's cold. This room is made of stone, has no heater, and is run a ruin that hasn't been used in a while. Dark outside of the window. From the look of it, I think it's around 10 o'clock at night.
で、どういうつもりよ、あーちゃん。
I glare into the darkness. By that pillar, the knight in red is sitting on a pile of rubble.
どうもこうもない。お前はエミやシロを釣る餌だ。それは自分でも分かっているだろう。
私がいなくたってシローなら勝手に来るわよ。そんなことあなたならわかるでしょうに。
そうだな。だがそこにお前がいては都合が悪い。ことが済むまで目障りな邪魔者にはここでおとなしくしていてもらう。
Archer says so without appearing in front of me. With no sign of his previous friendliness. He is a calm cleaner now.
そう。どうあってもシローを殺すっていうのね、あなた。
あのような甘い男は今のうちに消えた方がいい。
He answers as a matter of course. I can only see the shadowed side of his face from here. The expression is cold. He looks like he has a mask on. That makes me seriously angry.
シローが甘いってことは言われなくてもわかってるけど。
I breathe in. It'll end once I say this. My Archer will never return once I say this. I take a breath and glare at the guy in the shadows.
それでも私はあいつの甘いところが愛しいって思う。あいつはああでなくちゃいけないって、ああいうやつがいてもいいんだって救われてる。けどあんたはどうなの？そこまでやっておいて身勝手な理想論を振りかざすのは間違ってるって思ったわけ？何度も何度も他人のために戦って、何度も何度も裏切られて、何度も何度もつまらない後始末をさせられて、それで人間ってものに愛想が尽きたっていうの？あっちゃん。
I get even more angry as I speak, and I'm screaming it out now. Archer doesn't answer. The face in the shadows is a face I've never seen before.
すべての人間を救うことはできない。
When I heard this from the man I believed could save anyone, I felt resistance.
いいかいしろ。正義の味方に救えるのは味方をした人間だけだ。
I didn't like those words either. I didn't want the superhero himself to say these things. Since that time, Amir Shiro's whole life may have been focused on overturning those words. There's no need for sacrifices. Nobody will get hurt if you work hard and do your best. My father should have yearned for that as well. So,
ああ、安心した。
I cannot look away from his last moment. Sokka told me such a life is unnatural. I know. I realized that a long time ago. There's no world where nobody gets hurt. Nor can one speak happiness without hurting others. Such a utopia does not exist anywhere in this world. Miyashiro reached for superheroism and is just hypocrisy.
人助けの果てには何もない。
So, I know that without being told.
他人も自分も救えない。偽りのような人生だ。
Yeah, even if it may be true, I won't let you say it. I don't care if anyone other than him denies it, but I won't let him say it. We have the same beginnings, and even if I may eventually become like him, no. All the more of it that is the case, that is why I have to deny him. As he does not approve of the former Amiyashiro. I will not approve of him as long as I exist. Even if that dream may be a distorted one. If I have believed in it, if I am going to believe in it, I wake up. I look at the clock right away and see it's 11 o'clock right now.
目が覚めましたか、シロ。
Sitting Japanese style, Saber greets me in a calm voice. Been half a day since I came home from the church. She must have watched over me ever since I fainted.
ああ、起きた。体も問題ないよ。疲れも取れたし、頭痛も消えた。
I get up from the futon. My limbs are fine now. The magic circuit I overused is still exhausted, but it hasn't burned up.
行くのですか、シロ。
Saber suddenly asks. The answer is obvious, so I silently nod back.
わかりました。では私も同行します。ですがシロ。リンは私のマスターです。彼女を救い出すのは私の役目だ。
逆だ、セイバー。アーチャーとは俺がやる。
I interrupt Saber. She looks at me uneasily.
それはダメだ、シロ。アーチャーはあなたの。
She hesitates to finish her sentence.
分かってる。あいつが何者なのかは、多分出会った時から分かってた。
Yeah. I've opposed him without reason from the first time we met. I stubbornly hated him, thinking that I could not approve of him. It's natural. People can only look away when faced with their own mistakes.
ああ。けど、だからこそ、あいつがしたことは認めない。あいつとだけは、俺が決着をつけなくちゃいけないんだ。
I stand up. My body feels great. There's only half a day left until the deadline. I can't spend any more time resting.
シロ。
こんなことを言える立場じゃないけど、頼む、セイバー。アーチャーとは俺がやる。その時、どうなっても手を出さないでいてほしい。
I bow as I ask Saber.
いいえ。そのようなことをする必要はありません、シロ。あなたがそう望むのなら、私はそれに従いましょう。この身はあなたの盾になると誓ったのです。その行く末を最後まで見届けます。
Her answer is perfect. Her clear voice sweeps away the uneasiness within me.
ありがとう。セイバーが見守ってくれるんなら心強い。
はい。私もあなたがそうであってくれて嬉しい、シロ。
She smiles back. We're prepared for departure now. We leave my house. Who would have thought that I would go to the castle again?
おい、お前ら、人の話聞いてねえだろ。
は
We both turn around. Oh, come to think of it, Lancer was still here.
なんだ、案外暇なんだな、あんた。
Just slips out. He must be self-conscious as he doesn't try to retort.
ランサー、あなたが何を企んでいるかは知りませんが、私たちに同行しても得るものはありません。アーチャーはすでにマスターを持たないサーバント。あなたのマスターが倒したがるとは思えませんが。
ああ、分かってる分かってる。別にアーチャーの野郎をどうこうしようって気はねえ。坊主と奴の殺し合いにも手は出さねえから安心しろ。
では何のためについてこようというのです。私との決着を望むのならここでつけても構いませんが。
いや、それも願い下げだな。俺は貴様のマスターと敵対する気はない。むしろ売りたいのはオンでね。ここらで貸しを作っておこうと、そういう腹だ。
Saber glares at Lancer, and Lancer ignores her.
わかった。好きにしろ。遠坂を助ける手助けをしてくれるならこっちも助かる。
シロ、ランサーは敵です。そのような軽い決断は。
その点は大丈夫だろう。そいつ根性ひん曲がってるけど嘘を言うやつじゃないし、何より回りくどいことなんてできない。俺たちを騙したいんならその前に真正面から倒しに来てるさ。
それはそうですが、しかし。
いや、セイバーが嫌だって言うなら追っ払う。けどこいつ放っておいてもついてくるぞ。それならそばにいさせて監視した方が楽だろ
たった数日で随分と口がうまくなったのですね、シロ。
う。いや、いろいろあったからま、そういうことだ、ランサー。俺たちもあんたに関与しないから、あんたも俺たちには口を出さない。それでいいなら一緒に行こう。
I say to the guy that's watching with a smile.
十分だ。いや、いいコンビじゃねえか。セイバーは見ての通り融通が利かないからな。お前が大人になってくれて助かったぜ。
そのようなことはありません。融通が利かないのはむしろシロの方だ。私がどれほど苦労したか、あなたに何がわかるのです。
さあ、なんだ、聞けば話してくれるのか、セイバー。いいぜ、城までは随分とある。道中お前の苦労話を魚としよ
う。なぜ私がそのようなことを説明しなくてはならないのです。それこそあなたには無関係ではないですか。
Saber roars at Lancer. I guess Saber doesn't get along well with Lancer. But I never thought Saber would get angry like Tasaka.
まあいいか。それより行くぞ。遊んでる暇はないんだ。できるだけ早く城に行かなくちゃいけないんだからな。
I leave the two and start walking.
シロ、私は遊んでいるわけではありません。
She must still be mad as she yells at me. Lancer follows us from a distance. It's midnight right now. I know how far the castle is from here. Are we doing this tonight? We should make it in time. Probably get there around dawn. No, it's got to be the next part. We start to walk to the masterless old castle. I think it's important for you and me to have a talk about Emiya